This one's wife. Fake exposed. Fakery is the watchword of the narcissist. Fakery is utilized by the narcissist to get to the prime aims. There are some narcissists, but they are in the minority, that have considerable talent and ability. And what their narcissism does is it causes them to drive all the harder for success, because that aids the prime aims. The narcissism essentially harnesses the innate ability of that particular person, whether it's the fact that they can sing, that they can write, that they've got a brilliant entrepreneurial mind, that they are an inventor, that they are particularly good with regard to gauging the mood of people in a political sense, that they can harness the will of the people to lead them, whatever it might be, that the narcissism utilizes an innate ability and embellishes upon it. It takes that and, with the narcissist's sense of entitlement, lack of accountability, haughtiness, magical thinking, etc., uses that ability alongside various manipulations to get to the prime aims. In essence, there is some substance to that particular type of narcissist, but they are very much in the minority. Most narcissists exaggerate their ability. They may not have any whatsoever, or it's in limited supply. But either way, the narcissism causes them to pretend to be better than they are, or even to pretend to be something that they are not. A great example of that is in relation to this one's wife. Time and time again, we have seen her narcissism cause her to believe that she is so many different things, resulting in her trying to be so many different things. We've seen her attempt to be a bananatarian, a philanthropist, an author, a content creator, an interviewer, a presenter. And time and time again she has failed. She's failed because she doesn't actually have the ability. She's failed because of her sense of entitlement. She's not willing to learn the ropes. She's not willing to invest the time to become good at it. She just thinks she is good at it automatically because she's deluded. Also, her lack of popularity works against her, whereby people now won't even give her a chance because they don't like her, and they just see that she is a fraud that time and time again shifts from one thing to another. And one of the perhaps greatest frauds that she has committed is to suggest that she's actually an accomplished cook. She doesn't actually provide any details of recipes in her new program, she just shows you what she's doing. And we know that she has taken other people's recipes and passed them off as her own. We know that she has utilized the whole concept of her show, having essentially pinched it from Pamela Anderson. We know that other people have been involved in actually doing the work. At least 2 chefs were involved to actually undertake some proper cooking as she flounced around in the background alongside them. We know, for instance, when she did the flower arranging, that certain internet sleuths have pointed out that when you look at what she created, and then when the camera cuts back, somebody's clearly come along and sorted out the mess that she's made into something which looks much better. There's a difference, and she's not done it. When she and Mindy Kaling went into the summer house, somebody else, the magical elves, had laid out all of the tea party. She hadn't done it. We hadn't seen her doing it. And it's clear, as people have pointed out, from the way that she holds knives to the way that she uses a whisk rather than an actual spatula when creating waffles, the way that she has put raw chicken directly onto the shelf in the fridge, and many other things that people have pointed out. She isn't a cook. Yet she believes that she is. And anybody else who was not a narcissist would first of all recognize their shortcomings and would be uncomfortable with trying to portray themselves as being a cook when they clearly recognize that they're not very good at doing it. But not this one's wife. No. Her narcissism allows her to believe that she is an accomplished cook and baker. It causes her to believe that what she does is truly magical, and that you can find the joy in every moment and the wonder in everything that she does. She doesn't see that there's anything wrong with instructing other people to do things and her claiming the credit, because it's her show, and it's her. She doesn't see that there's anything wrong, for instance, in causing people to spend their time overnight baking banana bread and then she can claim that it's hers, as she did in Australia. She doesn't have a problem with taking something that she has bought, namely pretzels, and moving them from one plastic bag to another and making it seem like she's added something special to it because she simply moved it from one container to another. She doesn't recognise how preposterous that looks. She doesn't understand that she's not a cook. Her narcissism tells her that she is, therefore she is. She doesn't grasp that she's not good at baking. She'll say, oh, I don't really like baking. But that's just her waffling on in the moment. She still thinks she's excellent at it, even though she might not like it. But she's not. Other people do the work. Yes, she's gained some elementary skills, evidently. But we also don't know what's been going on in the background. And it's quite clear that given the lack of proficiency that she's exhibited in front of the camera when she's doing things, which is largely rearranging stuff around on a plate, she actually has no chefing or cooking skills. And this fakery has been exposed yet again and has found its way into the mainstream media. Olivia Salamoni and Martin Robinson write for the Daily Mail, this one's wife has been accused of faking her St. Patrick's Day waffles after royal fans noticed something weird about them. This one's wife posted Instagram videos that showed her using a waffle maker to create a shamrock green holiday-themed breakfast to celebrate Ireland's patron saint with her family. She filmed herself whisking up a lurid mixture before pouring it into a steaming hot black cast-iron waffle maker, declaring that the Sussexes love a theme. But eagle-eyed social media users immediately claimed there was something suspicious about her Irish-inspired waffles. They claimed that the treats she showed off on her Instagram looked completely different from the pattern on the waffle maker she was using. Her iron, which appears to be a $50 Cuisinart wearing Pro WMK200 Belgian waffle maker, that's a mouthful, has deep ridges so each waffle can be split into quarters. But royal fans spotted that her waffles, film being plated up for Archie and Lilibet, with kiwi, blueberry and whipped cream to make it look like a face, that's stretching the concept of a face, and no ridges and were flat. One supporter suggested she could have made different ones for adults and children using different irons. But it was the case that royal fans were convinced that she used the waffle iron gifted by the late Queen to Archie to make the St. Patrick's Day themed dish for Harry and the children. And the Mail shows the segment lines in the mould, yet there's no segment lines on the waffle that has appeared, and it's suggested that they are shop-bought, similar, for instance, to the Kellogg's Dragon waffles. Not suggesting those are the ones that she purchased because they look slightly different in that they're not round. They have sides to them. But nevertheless, once again, the fact that this one's wife is passing herself off as someone who has created a waffle mix and has created these waffles for the children in the waffle maker, when in actual fact, your waffles would come out differently, not only in terms of shape, but also the edging of them as well. The report continues by explaining, she did not make that mess in that waffle maker. Anyone notice something missing? The waffle maker has 4 sections. None of that slop she made has any sections. Come on, people, at least call her out instead of just posting about her. The user included a picture of a bright green waffle on a blue plate with 4 sections. This is what a 4-section waffle would look like, they wrote. Her kids' waffles look like coloured Eggos, not homemade at all, someone observed. Definitely not with the waffle maker she's trying to pretend. They would have been a lot thicker and the sections would have been like this. I can't believe she thinks people are dumb. Good eye. Why does she waste her time since everything she does is so cringe? Another questioned. Great catch. I just noticed that in another photo. The waffle is in 2 sections. So phony. Wow, such a good catch. Thank you so much. Wow, great attention to detail. I was wondering why those were so light green. It didn't seem right to me, like really artificially green, but I didn't notice the flower lines. Yep, this one's wife is definitely lazy. She is lazy. Once again, this one's wife's fakery exposed. An individual who believes that she is brilliant at what she does, that she is a genuinely good cook, and she's been caught out again. She's been caught out because, remember, she's just thinking in the moment. she films herself making it look like she's actually making the waffles and they uses shop-bought ones instead. She doesn't care. Why? Because she's got no sense of accountability. Her narcissism tells her it's okay. She does indeed think that people are stupid. She doesn't think that people will notice. Because she's not considering those things. She's too busy thinking about people thinking how wonderful she is, praising her for what she's done. You might think that given that she knows how much scrutiny and criticism she comes under, that she would start to be scrupulous with regard to what she does. But she doesn't, because her narcissism doesn't hold her to account. Other people might think, yeah, I've been caught out a few times actually, so I now need to make sure everything's on the nose, that there's no room for people suggesting that it's made up or phony or fake. Not with this one's wife. Her sense of entitlement tells her, go ahead, it's fine. She doesn't even consider the previous occasions where she's been caught out. Why? Because it's in the past. It's evaporated into the ether. It doesn't matter, which is the nature of the narcissist, because she's so in the moment focused. And this is why she's the queen of cock-ups. This is why she keeps fucking up. This is why she keeps demonstrating that she's a phony. This is why you give the narcissist enough rope and they'll hang themselves. And once again, not only has social media outed her as a phony and a fake with regard to these waffles, it then gets amplified and reported on in the mainstream media by the Daily Mail, creating further threats to her control and her exposure as a faker. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.